birth of Viracocha. In the beginning of time there was an endless darkness. There was no light, no being. Within this darkness, a supreme being named Viracocha was asleep. Viracocha was an omnipotent, wise, and eternal being. One day, Viracocha began to awaken. As he woke up, he looked around at the darkness and decided to create something. First, he created the sky. The sky was vast and blue, filled with stars and planets. Then he created the sun and the moon. The sun would illuminate and warm the world. The moon would light up the night. Viracocha then created the world. The world was full of green mountains, blue oceans, and lush forests. Everything was full of life. But Viracocha was still alone. He looked around and decided to create friends and companions. And so, Viracocha created humans. Humans were strong and weak, good and evil, but they were all Viracocha's children. Viracocha gave humans the knowledge and skills to rule the world and take care of it. After Viracocha completed all his creation, he decided to watch and protect it. He traveled the world invisibly, watching what people were doing. He was happy when people did good things and sad when they did bad things. Viracocha is still a wise being who lives in the world and helps us. He teaches us to live in harmony with nature and to respect each other. Pachamama's generosity high in the Andes Mountains. There lived a goddess named Pachamama. Pachamama was the goddess of the earth and abundance. She was the one who nourished all living things and kept the world alive. One day, Pachamama decided to watch the people. She saw the people who lived in the village below. The farmers were planting their fields, the hunters were hunting, and the women were weaving. Everyone was working hard to survive. Pachamama saw the hard lives of the people and decided to help them. She made the land fertile and ensured that the crops grew abundantly. She guided the hunters to find prey and inspired the women to weave beautiful fabric. The people were very happy with Pachamama's generosity. They had never had so much food and resources before. They prayed to her and offered her gifts to thank Pachamama. Pachamama saw the gratitude of the people and her heart filled with joy. She knew that she would always look after the people and always protect them. Since then, Pachamama has been a respected and loved goddess by the people who live in the Andes Mountains. As the goddess of the earth and abundance, she continues to help all living things survive and thrive. El Somberon's trickery. In the lush forests of Colombia, there lived a spirit named El Somberon. He was a tall, slender figure with a wide hat. He would come out at night and prey on drunk people. One night, a young man named Juan went to a tavern with his friends. Juan and his friends drank a lot and got quite drunk. As they were leaving the tavern, Juan decided to walk home alone. As Juan was walking through the dark streets, he suddenly heard a voice behind him. He turned around and saw a tall, slender man with a wide hat. The man's eyes were glowing, and he had a long cane in his hand. The man approached Juan with a gentle voice and asked him where he was going. Juan told him he was going home. The man offered to walk Juan home. Juan, though wary of the stranger, agreed. As they walked, the man began to tell Juan stories. The stories were very captivating, and Juan didn't notice how time passed as he listened to them. Eventually, they came to a river. The man told Juan that he could walk him all the way to his house, which was on the other side of the river. Juan agreed and let the man carry him across the river. However, as soon as the man was in the middle of the river, he suddenly struck Juan on the head with his cane. Juan fell into the water, and the current quickly swept him away. He started to struggle as he was about to drown. Just then, a group of fishermen saw Juan and jumped into the water to save him. Juan was pulled out of the river and taken to safety. Juan was lucky to have escaped El Somberon's trickery. From that day on, Juan never walked alone late at night and was always careful when he was drunk. He also learned that it is important to be wary of strangers in the dark. Ixchel, the powerful goddess of the moon and weaving. In Mayan mythology, Ixchel was known as one of the most beautiful beings in the sky, the goddess of the moon, storms, and weaving. She was also closely associated with womanhood, fertility, and healing. Ixchel was depicted as an elegant woman who illuminated the world with the moon's glow. It was said that she sat at her loom, weaving silks with all the colors of the rainbow. These silks weren't just ordinary fabrics, they wove the fates and lives of people. Once, a Mayan village experienced a severe drought. The land was cracked, the rivers were dry, and the people were on the verge of starvation. The villagers had lost hope and began to pray to the gods. Ixchel heard their cries and decided to help them. A great storm arose, and the sky darkened. The villagers were frightened, but Ixchel knew that the storm was a gift. The storm brought rain to the long parched land, and everything turned green. When the rain stopped, a rainbow appeared in the sky. Ixchel wove a thread from the colors of the rainbow and dropped it onto the land where the villagers lived. As soon as the thread touched the ground, the land became abundant. The trees bore fruit, the fields were full of crops, and the people were happy once more. From that day forward, Ixchel was greatly revered by the Mayan people. Women would pray to her during childbirth and when they were ill. Weavers would create beautiful fabrics in her name. Ixchel always helped and protected them. Tupa, the powerful lord of the skies. Deep in the heart of South America, according to the beliefs of the Guarani people, the supreme ruler of the sky was the god Tupa. Known as the lord of the skies and thunder, Tupa possessed both creative and destructive powers. With his mighty arms, he sent rain, punished his enemies with lightning, and illuminated the sky with thunderbolts. Once upon a time, a great drought afflicted the Guarani tribes. The rivers ran dry, cracks formed in the earth, and the people were on the verge of starvation. The old shaman, the wisest person in the tribe, organized a ceremony to plead with Tupa. All the members of the tribe raised their hands to the sky and prayed for rain. Suddenly, the skies darkened, and the sound of thunder could be heard in the distance. Tupa's angry gaze fell upon the world. As lightning flashed, a torrential rain began to fall. The rain fell for days without stopping, and the drought ended. The land turned green again, the rivers filled, and the people were happy once more. However, Tupa's power did not only bring good. If people disobeyed his commands or worshipped other gods, Tupa's wrath would fall upon them. Once upon a time, a tribe had begun to worship another god instead of Tupa. Tupa did not forgive this disrespect and sent a violent storm upon the tribe. The storm destroyed the village, and many people lost their lives. After this event, the Guarani people increased their respect for Tupa. They saw him not only as a powerful god, but also as a just and merciful creator. They would mention Tupa's name with respect and were careful to obey his commands.